Alrighty. How is everybody today? We're using the back camera on the cell phone. Out here prepping the boat, getting it ready for a trip this next coming couple days. To just go do some multi-species fishing. We're going to start off with some bass and go for some crappie and some bluegill, and then we're going to end the day with Mr. Whiskers. We're going to go after what this boat is really crafted to do, and that's go after flathead catfish, big trophy flathead catfish. But today, my kitty cat's going to bump the tripod. Watch out, Fluffy. Come on. Come on, Fluffs. Cats, they're unpredictable. There you go. Just like the fish. Alrighty, so today what I wanted to talk about are, I know you guys are familiar with these. The old senkos, right? These are some watermelon senkos right here. Old Gary Yamamoto's, made in Arizona. I don't live too far actually from one of their factories. Okay, so I'm about, I don't know, 10 minutes away from where these are made. But I want to talk about these. These are from Japan. Cat's getting into stuff back there. These are from Deps, and these are the 4-inch cover scat. And a lot of people call these the turd lure. And that's kind of a thing going on right now, is making lures that look like turds. I bought them because I thought it was hilarious. But you can see that right there. There's what they look like. Okay, I don't know how well you guys can see that, but there they are. All right, so this end right here looks like a turd and everything. They've got a smell to them. It's just, there's a smell to these things. And no, it doesn't smell like a turd, but it's a very chemical smell. It smells very salty. If I had to, I can't even really describe the smell. It's like, it's just not good. All right, it's just not good. It's the only way I know how to describe it. There's a little bit of a scent of, like a hint of bran flakes that comes off of it. Just a very slight hint. Kind of a chemical, oily, salty kind of smell. All right. But I've been seeing a lot of videos. They just kind of come out with these recently. All right. On these. And there's a lot of people out there that are saying that's the new replacement for the old classic. And so these are the 4 inches, the 4-inch versions. These are the green pumpkins. And I already went through a bag of 3.5s. And I'm going to confirm to you that's the new replacement for these. Okay. Senko still work. They're still great. Wacky rigged, all that. These guys, they're fantastic. Fantastic. If I go through an entire bag of plastics, I mean, there's only 5 in this bag, and I think you get like 5 or 7 of the 3.5 inchers. They're not cheap. This bag was $12, right? As opposed to these Gary Yamamoto's that I bought right here. I think there's 10 in here. These were $7. All right, so this was $7. That's $12 right there. All right, it's a lot of money for something that resembles a turd. But they fish really easy. If you're new to bass fishing, I suggest these, because this is probably one of the easiest plastic baits that I've ever used in my life. You don't need a weight because they're heavy enough. You just Texas rig them. Okay, you can look up Texas rigging, just weightless. And the way these work in the water is they're kind of a dual action bait. Oh, look at this. I don't know if you guys can see this. If you can see the salt. I don't know if you guys can see that. See the salt on there? Little white flecks. There's just salt everywhere on these things. But the way these work is you got your pocket right here, okay? You got a big old pocket right there. Hook comes through here. Now a lot of people will hook them this way or that way. It doesn't really matter which way you hook these things. But you just, I usually bring the hook through. You got a little spot right here. I'll bring the hook through here, turn it, bury it, and then bring it up through the slot there. Bring the hook up about back here in the sticker part. Bring it back up and then bury the point, just the tip, like skin it basically, into here so it's weedless. And the way this works is you just throw it out like that, and when it hits the water, it does the same thing wacky rigged. Actually, I think they work a little bit better wacky rigged, but that's you have to use one big O-ring on this thing, or just hook it straight into the worm. But it flutters. It comes down like so in the shallows, and then it gets so far, and then it just stops, and it just has a very graceful, just straight fall. Okay, and it's on that fall that the bass nail this thing. All right, there is no having to, jerk it, tap it, flick it, nothing. All right, and they're great for skipping. All right, they're absolutely great for skipping. They're a fantastic lure. They're fantastic. Are they worth the 12 bucks? Yes. Okay. Again, they look kind of like a turd. And there's a few other companies out there, even Gary Yamamoto's company, that invented the senko. All right. Little history on the senko. All right. I don't know if you guys remember. Some of you probably do. Some of you might even still have some. I have some still. I don't think they're made anymore. But there used to be a worm called a sluggo. And that's what the senko is actually imitating, is that original sluggo. All right. So, the senko works very well, but it's not really imitating anything. The way they designed the senko was, Yamamoto wanted a bait to compete against this sluggo. And so what he did is he took a tube of a big pen, cast it, shot it with some soft plastic, and that's how you get the senko. Again, these are American made. They're right here in Arizona. Right? They're in Page and Tempe. All right, I drive by it all the time. But either way, they're a good bait. These, on the other hand, are actually imitating something, and it's not a turd, as a lot of people want to believe. What these are imitating is a Japanese hornworm. All right, so if you look at it, if you look up, I'll put a picture up here of a tomato hornworm. Okay, and if you look at the front right there, that's tomato hornworm all over again. All right, which is one of the best live bass baits you can ever get your hands on. All right, and then the Japanese version of that worm, well, it has a big old fat tail like that. So it's engorged. That's a big old fat, Japanese tomato hornworm is what that is. All right, it's a natural bait. It is actually imitating something in nature. So they're just really an interesting bait. They make your hands stink. There's Fluffy. What you doing on my boat? You going fishing? So they do imitate something. They work really well. The size of hook that I usually use with those is anywhere between a 4/0 to a 6/0. That's just wide gap, offset Texas rig style hook. All right, that's what I use on them. No weight. You don't need any weight. They're heavy enough. And that's one of the big advantages of the Cover Scat is they kind of ride that line between finesse and then just regular plastic fishing. And you don't have to have a lot of weight to cast it. because it's got enough in it. They are absolutely just jam-packed with salt. Okay. So, you know, if you're out and you're bass fishing, you're like me and you like to try new lures, because for some reason, recently, I've really gotten into bass fishing. I'm a catfisher, you know, but I've really got into catching the old ditch pickle. Try these out. They work rather well. So, with that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. Charging these batteries up. And we are getting ready to get out there and hit the lake here in the next couple of days. I got my checklist I got to go over, you know, that I always go over on every trip. Check the batteries, charge the batteries, you know, inspect the engine hoses, things like that, gas tanks, you know, your usual stuff that you should be doing before you take your boat out every trip. I'll probably have that all done today. So, any which way, I just want to say thank you for watching today, and I hope you guys have a beautiful day today. We'll see you all later on. Bye now.